Well, guess what? It's Memorial Day. And here we are on this Monday, and I have a very special guest, Sandra Luna, which, if you don't know, in case you land on Spanish Jeopardy, Luna stands for moon. So there we go. How you doing today, Sandra?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. Has this weather been awesome? Hey, by the
Oh,
way, if you're watching this and you have bad weather, don't hate on us. We're having really nice weather.
it's true. I always say it's why we pay high California property taxes.
Gosh,
The
no
weather.
joke. It's called the Weather Fund. Well, hopefully they distribute it to that so that they can give us more days like today. Although I hear there's going to be a massive heat wave going on the next few days or
Oh,
something.
it's already started here. Starts
What's it
today
like
till
there in Marin?
Thursday. Yeah. It's
Mm.
gonna hit 90 where I live, I think.
Ooh,
But I'm
wow.
okay. I've got double pane windows and I've got my umbrellas outside. My two dogs have a kiddie pool.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
Gosh, I want to come back as your dog
you do.
next my next life. By the way, what's the name of your dog there on the ledge?
I'm gonna call him Ed.
Oh, well, okay. Hey, I heard two Eds are better than one, so that'll work. I'll take it. Very good. So, a lot going on, right? As you know, there's been so much talk about real estate and how, well, not only the economy, but that real estate would have this V curve, kind of recovery as
Uh-huh.
opposed to being a U curve. I do think personally that because rates have been artificially low, thank you to the Federal Reserve, that I do think that the interest rates are prompting more and more buyers to say, hey, if we don't do it now, when are we going to do it? Especially with money being almost free, right?
Right.
What's your thought as far as what you're seeing in your interactions with people? Are you seeing a different kind of buyer? Because the buyers that I'm seeing seem to me like they're more serious. It's not, oh, we're just thinking about it for the next 6 to 12 months, maybe. No, no, no. They want to go now.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Yeah. Well, I have a few buyers that are going to hold out and wait till this COVID thing is, but they're over 60. I've got some
Okay.
pregnant clients that, they want to move because they want to move and they want to move now. And I also
Mm,
have some people, just like you said, because of the interest rates, they understand how that's going to affect their payment. So it may make or break some people, in the under 1.2, under a million price range. And I know it sounds crazy, but here in the Bay Area, that's what our prices are. A little
yeah.
interest rate hike of even just 1/4%, 0.5% can affect your payment. So it is the time to go now, or even for an
Yeah,
investment.
and
Why wouldn't you want the lower rate for an investment?
even more so because if you're collecting rents, you want the lowest price of money possible so that that spread between the
Yep,
rent and what you pay out is called profit, right? You want to maximize
exactly.
that. Now, what are you seeing as far as property values in Marin particularly? Because one of my guesses is this. I'm here's comes a prediction. My prediction is that people in San Francisco that are in high-rise condos right now
Hmm.
are tired, of course, like all of us, of sheltering in place. But their situation's a little different because if you think about it, very hard to social distance in a high-rise condo where you got to get into an elevator. It's the same hallway. You got to share it with somebody at some point, right? It makes it
Yep.
very difficult. And plus, over there, it's what is it like 800 square feet for 2 million, right? They don't want to be in there. It feels like jail. They want to now have maybe a backyard. And so I'm talking to people who are thinking, you know what? Maybe I should be moving to Marin and buy an actual house. So are you seeing anything like that movement?
Not too much, I have to admit. I mean,
Not yet.
I am sheltering in place in Marin, and I'm grateful that I have the yard I do, and the space I do, and the walking trails I do right outside. I mean, I think that's why you see Dolores Park is packed. The Marina Green
I
is
know. Even with the
packed.
circles, did you see the circles? Yeah.
Yeah, the circles and Dolores
Yeah.
Park and Golden Gate Park, I'm sure is the same way. I do think there will be a turnover, though. Exactly what you're saying is people realize they want outdoor space, and why wait? Why wait for it? Have it now. So I think a lot of people will be buying those high rise, maybe for pied a terres, investments,
Mm,
places to
yeah.
crash in the city when you want to see a show, but you don't necessarily want to live there. So It takes
That's a
all
good
kinds,
point.
and everybody's different. I do see, I know people who never leave the city, and then I know a lot of people that, I never thought I would leave the city, but I really wanted the space and, the yard, and it's just quiet here and
Yeah.
that sort of
You're the
thing.
one that I just described because you lived in the
I
city for a
am.
long time, yeah?
I am. Well, your priorities change too as you get older,
Yeah. Yeah, in life.
I
Yeah.
liked the
Yeah.
noise. I lived a block away from a Ducati bar when I first moved to the city in 1990, and I loved it. The noise was great.
Yeah.
Now, not so much.
Yeah, now the noise is annoying.
Yeah.
Right? You want quiet and you want to be able to go and take a hike on one of those trails that you just mentioned.
Yep.
So, where do you think are great buys if you're, for example, a young family who's just had a child or recently? Where are good areas? I mean, I've heard Mill Valley, of course, is always the number one city that pops up of people leaving San Francisco when they have
Yeah.
kids and go to Mill Valley. But what are other good ones, especially now that I think the trend's going to be where companies are going to allow their employees to work from home more?
Yep.
Where do you
Yep.
think are good buys and we're in?
Prices are pretty good in San Rafael, Fairfax, San Anselmo, Novato, Petaluma, Walnut
Mm,
Creek, Pacifica. All of these areas that are just outside the outline. Prices are pretty high in Mill Valley, but plenty of people can afford it. um, and it's quick to the bridge. So there's a lot of options for people who want to, if they have to work in the city, if they work in the city. And as you say, I think more and more people are going to work from home, so maybe they only need to go to the city
absolutely.
1 or 2 days a week. They can live in
Exactly.
Sonoma if they wanted.
Yeah, it's true. Or greater inland more, right? Areas
Yep,
that they wouldn't think, like you mentioned Fairfax. Like all of a sudden people are talking about Fairfax because if they're going to come to the city only 2 times a week, like they
exactly.
don't mind that little commute to the highway anymore,
No, no.
right?
And I'll tell you, as somebody who goes to the city to work because I list properties there, it's the most beautiful commute you could possibly imagine. Over the
That's
Golden
a good
Gate
point.
Bridge every day.
Oh, it's
I
gorgeous.
mean,
Never
it's
gets old, huh?
I have to pinch myself. Like,
I know.
people spend a lifetime trying to get on this bridge and see it in person. And I try not to
So
take it
true.
for granted that I get to sometimes cross it 1 or 2 times a day. It's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the person who's thinking right now of, man, maybe I should leave San Francisco. What would be your advice?
Well, I love San Francisco. I don't want to talk anybody into leaving it because there
No,
are
but
a
if they're
lot of
thinking
wonderful
about
things
it
about it.
already.
But if they're already thinking about it, you got to do it. You got to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
hey Ed, you probably don't think about this, but as a woman, my safety is important. I feel very
Mm,
safe here. It's very quiet. I know one of the things I didn't want to leave San Francisco uh, for is my neighborhood. I had such a great neighborhood, and I knew the store
yeah.
owners, and I knew my neighbors, and I'd walk down the street and I'd see, it was like a small town at some points in some places. And the same thing here. I know all my neighbors. I know the restaurant owners. I know the little shopkeepers. And it's very much a community. You think you're never going to find that again, but you do.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, that's a great point because, look, I've always said, don't go to the party, be the party, because then you're always going to the party, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and I mean that seriously in the sense that we all get caught up in our own heads, right? Oh, am I could be able to do this? No, 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 no. You're the one. Like Gandhi said, be the change that you expect in the world. Honestly, if you could bring it, if your personality is already to know everybody, you're gonna do that in Fairfax, you're gonna do that in Novato, you're gonna do that anywhere you go. So
yeah,
the big question is, how do you envision your quality of life at the end of the day? Because on our deathbeds, nobody's gonna be talking about the things that you own. You're gonna be thinking about, in my opinion, the experiences, the shop owner that you knew that you had that one conversation and you found out that you had in common that maybe you were only children and maybe you didn't have a dad or mom, whatever the situation was, and you have that bonding moment with people. Those are the things that we're going to remember, right?
yeah.
Is creating those moments with people. And I just think that release that fear. knowing that you're the one bringing the party. No matter where you're going to live, you're going to make it a great thing. But you got to think about where's a place that you want to live as far as the type of people that is more conducive to your personality. Because
Hmm.
the worst thing that can happen is like, wow, you go to a place and now everybody's grouchy. And no matter what you say, good morning, to everybody, nobody says good morning back. That's probably not going to be good, right?
Right, right. And I think it's important to know if you do move to Marin, let's just say, the city's right there. It's not going anywhere. You're there quickly. You
Super
can go in,
close.
you can spend all day, you can spend all night, and you're back in half an hour, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
that's a
I
great
remember
point
when
as
I
well.
first
It's right there.
when I first moved here, I felt like I was on vacation every night. Because I'd go into the
Oh,
city, I'd work, I'd do that, do the
oh, I see.
showings, I'd come back, and whatever time I got here, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of a sudden I'm on vacation because it's green, it's warm in the summer. It's just, your stress level goes down when you're in an environment. And now I'm
Yeah.
gardening. I have a hydroponic table. I have this wonderful hummingbird, bumblebee, honeybee, and butterfly garden I've got going on all on my
Huh.
front sidewalk. It's gorgeous, and it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Huh.
And sure enough, the hummingbirds are coming. I had a butterfly that was in a cocoon for a while on my deck, and we watched it open. We watched it. When it first opens,
Yeah.
the butterfly's there, but it
It's
doesn't go anywhere.
metamorphosis.
What's that?
Nice.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis. Remember that
So we
from
saw
junior high?
Yeah, we saw it all, and it stays in
Awesome.
place until it sort of drip dries and the temperature
That's right.
gets to a certain degree, and then it
That's
flew
right.
away, and it flew straight to my garden. So, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
It's like you don't have to wait for vacation for that type of stuff. You can have it
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
every morning, every night.
Again, we could do whatever we want. It's just a matter of perspective and putting the hustle in to make it happen, right? So,
Totally.
so speaking of that, what's your forecast? What do you think is going to happen? And this is just your forecast, right? What do you think is going to happen in the next, let's just call it between now and the end of 2021, when this whole COVID hopefully at least quiets down a bit. Now, I do believe there's going to be a new world order. I don't think any of us is going to go back to the way it was, right? There's going to be a sort of a new normal. But what do you think is going to happen as far as real estate goes in the next year and a half?
I think there's a deal in every market. I think there's opportunity in every market. I think if prices do go down, it's an opportunity for more people to buy and or able to afford it.
Hmm.
I don't see prices in the Bay Area going down very much. We have been so tight with our inventory and the need for housing that I think even if and when people do leave, it's just going to be an equal playing field then, instead of this really tight market of people not even being able to find a place to live. So
Yeah,
I think it might kind of equalize. I think real estate in the Bay Area, whether North Bay, South Bay, East Bay, is a good investment no matter what. And
yeah,
I'm a little worried for the middle of the country, frankly, but I'm not too worried about here.
yeah. I agree. I mean, we've created a bubble here in the Bay Area for many, many years. You know, it's the geography, the topography, the jobs, the proximity of everything. You said it. I mean, look, to Marin, it's 20 to 30 minutes, and the feel is completely different. You drive 3 hours, go to Tahoe, completely different, go to Sacramento. I mean, everything is driving distance pretty much, right?
Yep.
So I think you're absolutely right. We have jobs here, we have technology here. We also have a gigantic financial center called downtown San Francisco. So all that and biotech, we're also, people forget to talk about this, not just apps. We are also at the cutting edge of biotech. A lot of these things, for example, like even vaccines, right, done here. So I think, to your point, I don't think prices are going to go down dramatically either. Those who are waiting for 10, 15, 20% drop in price, you're going to miss it again, like a
Yeah.
lot of people missed it in 2008. You think about the people who either decided to keep their homes or buy more in 2008. How are they sitting today, Sandra?
Exactly.
Living large, right? They
Yeah.
were able to amass great amount of wealth. Now, I'll leave with this, saying that if you don't know this, 84% of all the Forbes 400 richest people have made their money through real estate. You think they might know a little bit something? If that's the trend,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, Sandra, my last question: how do people get a hold of you?
Oh, well, let me see. Here's my business card right here.
Oh, even better. All
It's
right,
easy
bring
to
her up.
contact me. It's Sandra at sandraluna.com. And my phone number's on there, 415-279-8610.
Well, there you go, folks. You heard it here first. And again, thank you so much for doing this, especially on Memorial Day. I know we all have barbecuing or something to do, or tend to that beautiful garden of yours. Thank you so much. We'll do this again. How about that?
I'd love to.
With an update. All
I'd
right,
love to.
sounds great.
All right.
Everybody, happy Memorial Day. And I want to thank particularly all those folks who have served and are currently serving this wonderful country. We thank you because, you know what, our safety is in your hands and we do not take you for granted. So I salute you and I thank you. I come from a family of a lot of people in the military. So thank you guys all. And thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
And I'll
you.
see you soon. Take care. You're still